I want to talk with you today about the 5 common myths about low back pain. But before I tell you these 5 common myths that I have come up with, let me tell you why I think that I can share these with you. What qualifies me to talk about this? Well, I've suffered chronic and reoccurring low back injuries since my late teens, and that has kind of put me on a journey of discovery of spine health, in which I have graduated chiropractic college. I've studied yoga, strength training, functional rehabilitation, really just any form of movement that can be valuable and beneficial for developing spine health and spine resiliency. And over the years, I've really talked with a lot of people and I've helped a lot of people and kind of come up with these 5 myths. And myth number 1 is that there is one answer or one solution that can help with your back pain. So we all have that well-intentioned friend or family member that says, you should try an inversion table, or you should try a yoga class, or whatever it is, because that's what helped my back. Well, just because it helped one person's back does not necessarily mean it's going to help your back. And I say that because sometimes it's easy to get discouraged if we try something that helped somebody else and it doesn't help us. Now, on the other side of that equation, sometimes people don't try a particular therapy because it didn't work for somebody else. Don't ever see a physical therapist. Don't try a yoga class. Don't see a chiropractor, whatever it is, because that didn't work for me. There are a lot of different injuries and a lot of different things that can be happening in that low back pain. And for a lot of people, it's a combination therapy approach that they need. Now, myth number 2 is people think that more core stability is better. I've seen so many people try to crunch their way out of low back pain. But the problem with that is that sometimes more crunches, more holding front planks puts more compression on the spine and it can make it worse. What is much more important for spine health than more core stability is balanced tone of all of your core. This would be, yes, your front stomach muscles, more importantly, your side stomach muscles, and very importantly, are your back strap muscles here, your glute muscles, and even sometimes your hip and thigh muscles, hamstring muscles. And you really want good balance and symmetry. So if we're really tight here, it can just almost pull us forward and put more pressure on that low back. Now, myth number 3 is that more flexibility is better. And that's not true either. And I've equally seen people that try to stretch their way out of their low back pain. The problem with that is the research actually shows that sometimes people that are more flexible, have hypermobility, they're more susceptible to these chronic and reoccurring incidences of low back pain too. So what's more important for them is having kind of the same thing, is symmetry of their muscle tone. So if they're too tight in the back compared to the front, they want to stretch the back muscles. But for a lot of people, it could be the other way. They're actually too tight in the front muscles. They're stretching these all of the time, but really what they should be stretching is the front muscles. For some people, they're actually too tight. Those people that do crunches and sit-ups all the time, they might be too tight in their stomach muscles, and they need to actually stretch and extend through their spine. So more flexibility is not better. And I'll also say this, what's more important than more core stability or more flexibility is actually good motor control and movement. So what that means is, how well can you stand on one leg and just come out to the side with these different movements in here? What does your balance look like? How well can you stand on one leg and hinge here and stay nice and strong and erect through your spine without doing something like this? This is the kind of stuff I see all the time. No, you want to be engaged in through here and have good balance, good agility. The motor control and the nervous system programs that we have are much more valuable and beneficial than being more flexible or more strong in our core. So let's go to myth number 4, that nothing can be done about my low back pain. I just have to live with it. No, a good balanced approach will help the majority of people suffering from low back pain. And that balanced approach is, yes, sometimes working on core stability. Yes, sometimes working on flexibility, but in an individual way based on what your imbalances are. We already said working on balance and agility, and some good manual therapies. Things like doing soft tissue work, massage, myofascial release in certain tight muscles, doing spinal alignments, manipulations, for some people acupuncture. So there are a lot of different manual therapies that can be very valuable. And that kind of leads us now to myth number 5, that back pain can be cured. For most people, now for a lot of people, if it's a very early onset, yes, maybe they can do something, rest it, do a couple of adjustments, and it goes away for a very long time. But for a lot of people with chronic and reoccurring low back pain, there is not a cure. I'm never going to feel anything wrong with my low back pain again. There are management strategies. And that can be empowering because we kind of accept that I'm always going to maybe feel some degree of something back there. But instead of our pain level being maybe turned up to a 6 because we don't do anything about it, if we are proactive, do a combination of manual therapies and movement, maybe now I live with a pain level of about a 2 in my low back. So those are the 5 common myths when it comes to low back pain. Hopefully you got something out of this, you learned something, and if you did, give us a like our video. If you want more content like this, if you found it interesting and you want to see some of our other videos, you can like our page. And finally, if you have a question for us or you want to work with us in some way, leave us a comment below, or you can find our contact information on our profile.